Hey y'all, heading down the road for what may be a little bit of an arrowhead hunting adventure, and maybe not. You just never know. This will be a little bit different kind of video, hands-on type deal. Stay tuned. We'll see if we can make something happen for y'all. So here's the deal. A friend of mine, a customer in my restaurant, lives up the road here, it's a little ways from me, and he wants to find out if there's a possibility he has artifacts on his property. Now, he is not in a prime location, however, he's not in a bad location either. Maybe. We won't know. We're going to do some looking. So I'm going to be at Scott's just a few minutes here. We're going to kind of go through it the way I've talked about it on my videos before, put my money where my big mouth is, and see if we can make something happen. It looks better than I thought it would. So we'll talk about that as we get on down the road here. So I'm filming. We don't rehearse nothing. Hey,
oh, hey.
This is Scott.
Hello.
We're on his property. Some interesting story here. Scott comes in my restaurant, watches some of my videos for some reason, and wants to know if there's a possibility he has artifacts on his property. Why would you want to know that? Why do you think he might?
I love history. History's awesome.
That's history.
I mean, look at Dale. He's history.
Yeah, I'm getting old enough to be history. So, I talk about in these videos, I said put my money where my big mouth is. Here's what I'm thinking. We're going to stop here and talk about it. I've never been right here before ever, I don't think. And got a beautiful pond here, and we're going to talk just a second about this. If I was good at this, I have a professional setup. So here's what I'm thinking. When he asked me this, I knew where he lived. I'm thinking, man, probably not. I would call it a 50-50 proposition at best. The reason I'd say that is because we are near a creek.
Yep.
But we're not real near a creek. We're
near a pond.
That pond's not near old enough. I've talked about it. So we're 3/4 mile maybe from the creek?
1 mile.
1 full mile from the creek, which is what I always say is my limit. And about 1.5 miles that way to the next big creek. But you are in between the two major creeks. But the other thing that got me, and I didn't do any research on this until this morning, that's why I sent you that message, is I got it on a topographic site and looked at a topo map. And right there in the corner of your property is the highest spot around for a long ways.
Really?
It's 900 feet, right there by the corner of your fence, going on to the neighbor's fence.
Cool.
Okay, so that's interesting. It's also fairly flat, and 1 mile from a creek, and 1.5 miles or so to another major creek. We're right between the two. It'd be cool if we was around a ridge between the two. But so I'm looking at that, thinking, well, that makes it about a 60% deal, maybe, because I found stuff more than 1 mile. Actually, right where we're standing, some history here for me. Right where we're standing right now, I have found stuff on straight east of us across this creek 1.25 miles on a flat spot. It makes no sense except it's a big flat run all the way to the creek. This next property, Myers over here, got a couple ponds down here. There's one on top of the hill. I found debitage around that pond before.
Really?
Now that's 200 yards away.
Yeah.
Not that far down that ridge.
Yeah,
A muskrat trap. I found chunks and pieces there. So I'm thinking, well, maybe, who knows? But when I go to a new property, I'm going to do the same thing I always talk about, except I'm doing a little different. Because you have a pond, the earth's been manicured here. It's been dug at. I just want to take a quick look around this dam.
Sure.
Just to see what kind of course, it's all covered up in leaves and all that, but just to see what kind of rock we have, debitage possibilities, because this earth's been disturbed. I don't know how old this pond is. It don't matter.
93.
93. So
Built
we're-
93.
have a
1980.
quick look down there, just a quick look before we go back up here and go through the next couple things we're going to do. That work
Sure.
for you? Okay.
Sounds
Got to
good.
get permission from Mom or anything before we go any further?
Let me call my
Your
mortgage person.
lawyer.
You see a 3.8.
Because see, that's
yeah.
that's the earliest sign we've seen of white-tailed deer activity. Oh, which is another point. He's wearing an orange vest.
Yeah.
I got my orange cap.
Yeah.
My last video I talked about how it's going to be deer season, so we're not going to be arrowhead hunting. It's opening day of rifle season in Missouri, and here we are walking through the woods looking for arrowheads. How's that for?
You know, I didn't even see that.
Don't let me bore you. So as I come into the woods, there's a big pile of dirt right there I ask about. And a pile of rock and dirt here from a septic system they worked on. So it goes back to my saying is wherever you find disturbed dirt, that's a place to look. We're going to look at this pond dam. Got a lot of leaves. It may be hard to see anything just real quick. I'm going to look at this disturbed dirt real quick. And then we may go disturb a little bit of dirt, because that's the only way we're going to find anything. It's always leaves. Boy, it's a pretty day, though.
Beautiful day.
As long as some deer hunters don't say I'm a big old hog. Some cattails are okay.
Yeah.
So, got our typical chert. You know, the pond dam's made out of chert and clay. I'm just looking for any sign of a piece that's been worked on by man. Because this at one time was underground, and now it's not. So, and the pond being down like all of them are around here. A quick walk up through here. Scott just asked about the rock I'm looking at. I'm looking at this chert. He asked if there was any flint. As far as I can tell, in the United States of America, there's only two places where there's actually really flint. Flint and chert are the same thing, made a different way. We don't have flint, so flint napping is a misnomer. I've talked about that before and got arguments before. So I'm looking for shiny pieces, looking for pieces that have been hit on by something inside the tractor. See, that's a real nice piece of GSC chert, but it's just been whacked. It's not been whacked on by man. That's the kind of stuff they make points out of, though. So somebody else already done similar work for me.
So that's foam glass.
I mean, there's plenty of rock there to look at. Nothing's jumping out, which is fine. You also asked about the Mozartite. We're right on the edge of Mozartite here.
Oh, okay.
I find it's funny where I find Mozartite sometimes. I do have points and artifacts made out of Mozartite. It's extremely hard to nap. It's a really hard rock. It almost has to be cooked before I can nap it. But we're within, oh golly, 5 or 6 miles from where the serious Mozartite starts. The vein of it down south here.
Yeah.
This always requires heavy editing, by the way. I don't worry about it. You know, we're so dry, too. This has been here since about, what, 2012 then?
Yep.
He said this was dug out of the pond when we had our last big drought before this year. See, there's a... Well, there you go. There you go. It's nothing, but it's something. There's a piece that, in my opinion, has been hit on by man. Those edges don't happen naturally. Now, that's a big piece. It's nothing, but it's still something. That has been hit on by ancient man, no doubt in my mind. Those edges don't happen naturally. So, there you go.
That's cool.
Not fancy, but still, it's cool. And here's the point of this whole thing. See that, where that gate is, that little knob, that's the highest spot, according to Topo Map, from here, and that big tree line way off in the distance, you see, that is that's the upper side of the creek. That's the bluff over the creek, so that's how far we are, and that's the highest spot around. But the point is, we're looking at bare dirt, disturbed dirt. I mean, if we're going to check it out and try to find something besides fawn tracks, why would a deer be right here? Anyway, we're going to look at everything just like I talk about in all my videos, because we're going to look at all of it. At least where I think, okay, we're looking at high percentage stuff, not necessarily everything. This is high percentage. This is a high spot. And it shows it about a quarter acre, and you see the highest spot right there on the next neighbors there.
Yep.
So that's what we're looking at. So here we are in Scott's east border of his property, looking east, and that is the creek. I can actually see, off camera pick it up, zoom in real careful, that little green there at the bottom, that is a creek, actually creek banking, sycamore trees. That's how far away we are. Yes, I'd like to be half again that much closer. But there's a pond right over there. What, is it 200 yards from here?
Yep.
And I found debitage in that pond bank, and I broke an arrowhead base once muskrat trapping, so we're that close.
Yep.
So again, it's not a total screw up. We had a nice little walk through the woods looking at rock. Really some bare dirt over here, and we're going to try maybe a couple test holes. I would love to see more debitage on top first, but it is what it is. Said if we found one good chip, I'd say, okay, there you are. We got, again, where we're at here in central Missouri, we're real thin soil. It's a lot of rock. It's not very far down. We hit hard pan clay. So stuff is naturally pushed to the surface or has never left the surface. I find arrowheads, I got a story I'll tell somebody, I got a whole bucket of arrowheads and artifacts I found on top of the ground in the woods. They've never been buried.
Go any further, it's rock.
They've never been buried, so. If this was a great spot, it'd be automatic. You see stuff here.
Yeah.
That don't mean it's a bad spot either. Man, is it a nice day or what?
I love it.
It's sweet. We ain't got shot by a deer hunter yet.
What about that thing?
Uh-oh.
What about that?
Uh-oh.
What about that?
Well, pick that one up. Pick that one up right there.
Sure.
Pick that one up. That.
Oh, that's
there you go.
That is awesome.
How's that? There's a flake.
That is
a
awesome.
Perfect, actually a worked edge flake. So guess what you got here? You got your first artifact. It's a worked edge.
That is
See how thin that is worked down?
Yeah.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
I just got, my hair rose the back of my neck just now.
Yeah,
How's
mine
it? All
too.
these years. Now, it was just a flake, but it's been worked down. Look at the flakes taken off of it, small flake.
You can definitely
That is
see it.
actually a worked artifact.
So there's got to be
Hot diggity dog.
think a high area like this, they would, you know.
Again, I'm going to go back and not pat myself on the back too hard, but there's the creek. Another creek this way. Yeah, we're a fair ways from it. Fairly flat stuff. We're in the territories where ancient man lived in, right? You know what? That looks rehearsed as heck just now.
What's that?
What we just did looks rehearsed. I see these videos all the time where people, debitage.
That's sabotage.
But that is actually a worked piece.
Huh.
What do you think
And
of that?
you know it hasn't been moved because this hasn't been bulldozed that I know of.
This is
Maybe cleared
strictly
out
what
the
it is.
trees.
What do you think
But
of
other
that?
than that, I love it.
Is that awesome?
Oh, it's awesome, yeah.
Now, how much stuff is really here? Who knows? Because, there you go. And that's real pretty. Yeah, look at that. Perfect little flake. It's another flake. Not a tool or anything, but flake, yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
So I thought something else. I don't rehearse this stuff. I've told you that. I would make notes if I could remember to do that. But here's the deal. Do you know if I went right now, if I could be 100 foot over this property, 100 foot up above them trees, I can show you where I found 1,000 arrowheads. I can see it from here. If I went up 200 foot, I can show you where I found 5,000 arrowheads. That's how close we are to the best stuff.
That's awesome.
So right there is a success. I get excited about the stupidest things. It's not a notch point, but right there is a success. So here's the next thing we're going to do. This ain't no cut and edit. Here we're going to do this. I always talk about looking around the bigger trees because the roots pull stuff up and keep stuff up. So since we got some bare dirt, we're going to look, and where I did dig test holes around some of these big trees. I almost hope we don't find something because it's going to look really rehearsed. This is how it works. Never been here in my life. You've lived here for 30 years and haven't ever found anything. So that's how it works. But these roots will pull stuff up and keep stuff even higher than regular. So you always look around roots, especially like the big oak trees, the old persimmon trees.
Since the soil's poor, I'm sure these trees, like the cedar's old.
Oh, it's old, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes some pretty cool wood, though,
It grows
wouldn't it?
so slow with.
Yeah, see, there's several flakes and pieces there, though.
So, like, what do you think? They just camped out up here and.
That camping thing, that's a...
Or like, I mean, like spend the night or work, maybe would live here for a while, or they worked it here and was happy.
I just... See, that shows my ignorance, because I can just tell you what I guess at. People say camps. A lot of the things we're looking for were hunter-gatherers, nomadic. Yeah, there's all flakes. Hunter-gatherers, nomadic people didn't stay in one place. They didn't have a social setup like modern Indians did. So, but what you got is 10,000 years of people living here.
Right.
So they left a lot of stuff behind. They stayed in the same place people built their houses.
And it didn't go down because the soil's so poor.
Yeah, so I just, without going back in time 6,000 years or something, I can't tell you.
Right.
I think it's not, a camp is the wrong word sometimes. I think they actually lived a lot of these places. They just moved around according to the weather and according to seasons. A little bit more bare dirt here, but that was a pretty good. I just don't know how we can top that unless we dig something up. I'm just going to turn a little dirt over. See it? I'm already hitting rock. Now, when I really think I'm into arrowhead stuff, I use that potato fork, and I don't go in very. I wiggle and listen for that squeal. Oh, that ground's hard.
Need some rain, don't we?
Yeah, that ground's awful hard. My foot hurts, my knee hurts. That's the problem.
Yep.
I'm on a rock right there. Let's see if any more debitage pops up. This is pretty not technical. Listen to that rock.
Plenty of it.
Flake right there. See it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in it. Maybe not in it great, but...
That one right there, yeah. Let's see.
That's a flake. Identifying debitage and knowing what you're looking at is the key. How many times you stood here since you bought this property?
Well, I've walked it, but I haven't really
But
stood
that piece
there.
has been laying on top for how long?
For a long time, yeah.
Just pick a spot.
How far down?
Just however, it's going to break anyway, whatever. Just go in a little ways. Wiggle it, listen. Yeah, the ground is so hard.
It's hard, isn't it?
I heard a rock there, though. As far as I'm concerned, we're already a success.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to get enough done with that. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's just part of it.
All right.
So, again, what I suggest, folks, obviously, it works. There's stuff here. Is this the best spot? No. But then again, you might hit that one magic spot. Get around big oak trees, especially. Big sycamores, where they bring that stuff up to the surface. What'll happen, as soon as we leave the edge of this little field, it falls off in a big drain, a big old ditch. It goes all the way down. I mean, it's steep. I've been in it down through there bobcat
All
trapping.
this stuff will?
Yeah, everything here goes down.
All right.
So, percentages to find stuff, unless you find stuff in the ditch itself that's been washing over the years or lost over the years, it'd be a waste to well,
Trying to dig.
it's never a waste when you're looking for arrowheads or mushrooms. Okay?
All right.
That
That's
makes,
why creeks are so good.
and they're horrible too. I'd rather look on the dirt, but you find a lot of stuff in creeks. Eventually it makes it down to it. So, I don't know what else to say except it's a gorgeous day. It was a success.
Yeah, it was.
That's pretty interesting, wasn't
That's right. It was. Thank you.
We actually found a worked piece. You know what that really shows you, though, is how much stuff there really is out here
That's right.
in the world. That
History's neat.
That ridge, as far as you can see, is creek. How far is that farthest hillside down there? Is that 4 miles away?
I would guess, yeah.
There are, I did this in another video, there's thousands of artifacts down through there. They're never going to be found because they haven't been dug up.
Yep.
Thousands. Just that one ridge over there that I've worked before has got thousands, I'm sure. I'd hate to take a skid steer. That's where the big hitters do. They go to the skid steer and just turn over that dirt. That's not my. It's not my style.
They sift through it.
Yeah, those guys are selling the stuff. I have no desire to sell it. So.
Right.
Scott, thank you, bud. That was a wonderful day. That was excellent. We found something. Maybe we'll do this again when it's a little bit wetter.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. So, hope y'all picked up something from that. I said the way I do my videos, Scott's finding out I'm not fancy. That was amazing. I'm still going to walk into the woods back and look at more bare dirt because you never quit looking. And when we get home, look behind the garage door before you close it. Make sure any arrowhead there. God bless you guys. Thank you.